What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Evo League. This is week 1. This week we are taking on Koala and his Athens Hydras. Some notable things that he did not bring. He did not bring Steelix, Drapion, Sharpedo, Passimian, or Tangrowth. And I felt like the Tangrowth was coming over the Whimsicott. I felt like there was an option for Drapion to like Toxic Spikes. I definitely thought that was going to be an option for sure. But we did kind of predict the rest of the Pokemon here. So right off the bat, we do have ourselves. I can go through some of the team. We have a very max Spadef. I mean, extremely bulky. Oh, excuse me, Stunfisk. We have actually a very bulky U-turn is our only attack on Talonflame. This was I can eat hits from non-freeze shock Kieran Black and burn it, or defog away Toxic Spikes. That's kind of what this was. We have a very fizz bulky Fortress here as our secondary Stealth Rocker. Stunfisk was also Stealth Rocker. Our secondary Stealth Rocker, as well as our Rapid Spinner. It's really there to just make sure rocks stay off our side, as Talonflame does not do well under rocks, and that chip damage is, we really don't need that chip damage on specifically like Mega Gardevoir. We have a very standard Mega Gardevoir with 3 attacks and Wish, if I wanted to maybe threaten something out and pass a Wish on. We have an extremely Spadef bulky, Toxic Stalling, Sub Protect, 1000 Arrows on our Zygarde, and then we have a choiced Kartana. Not going to give away which choice, just in case we do see Koala in the playoffs, as he did see just about everything else. So let's go ahead and get into this battle. Turn 1. So this is my thinking. Turn 1 before everything goes off. As long as he leads literally any Pokemon not named Z-Move Kieran Black, I get my rocks up, or like Taunt Whimsicott. As I noticed, the team that he brought, Stunfisk actually has a really good matchup here. An extremely well matchup. Even Kieran Black, I can eat hits. Like if he's very like max physically attacking, and he has like no special attack investment, we can eat things not named Z Free Shock. We can eat Ice Beams from it, Stab Ice Beams from a non like modest, you know. He sends in his Archops, which is great, as we get our rocks up, and they're most likely there to stay unless he wants to defog this turn. As Discharge is somewhat of a roll to take this thing out, I do believe, as he just fires off his Stealth Rocks, which is a-okay, as I do have a way to get rid of them in the back still, a fully healthy Fortress. As we go for the Discharge here, and it actually lives, so he might have had a little bit of bulk invested on it. As I want to switch out, as I don't want to take this Endeavor. Actually, I didn't want to take any damage. Sorry, I gave away his tech. He actually has Endeavor on his freaking Archops here, which actually just blew away my Zygarde here. But he actually is a defeatist, so he actually cannot KO us here from this range. Acrobatics has a chance, so I do want to go ahead and protect and get a little bit of health back to where Acrobatics cannot KO us, as he clicks Head Smash, which actually would have worked out in our favor if we had not protected there. As we could have got to protect next turn. Because Head Smash was not going to kill us there, I don't believe. As he does make the smart play and Endeavor us down, as he knows that he cannot KO us with any move that he has at that range. As we are an extremely bulky Zygarde. So we do get our first KO of the game. Oh man, excuse me. I've been talking all day. I'm losing my voice. So he sends in a Zygarde. His Manectric onto my Zygarde. As I'm going to protect to see if he actually has HP Ice. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about that he has HP Ice. But I want to make him like possibly have to make a mind game to where like, I might switch into something else, because like Stunfisk can eat from this because he's not megaing for some reason. I guess he's trying to save his Intimidate, but he actually does make the right play and just clicks Hidden Power Ice as we sack this off. As I was trying to take a risk here. We would have knocked it out with 1000 Arrows if he made a misplay there. But now we get a free switch into our Stunfisk, get absolutely max health, and I'm going to click Toxic here, predicting either his Whimsicott or Togekiss to want to take the Earth Power. As a toxic on this or Token Kiss would be absolutely huge. As he takes Stealth Rocks damage here, and he takes toxic damage. And we see no leftovers. No leftovers. So I'm not really sure what this thing is. Maybe choiced? It could possibly be choice specs. So I'm not really sure, and I don't want to take like a choice specs Giga Drain from this thing. So I do go into our Duplo, our fortress, as he does click Moonblast, and it does do like a pretty good chunk, not gonna lie. Check this out, yeah. Pretty good chunk. As I really want to get rid of these rocks, is if I can Rapid Spin here, there will be no more rocks for the rest of the battle. He has no way of stopping me. Unless he's had HP Fire right there, but he had to be like Choice Specs HP Fire, so still he couldn't knock us out. So I do go ahead and I click Rapid Spin here to knock away these rocks, and to give Talonflame a free switch in, specifically kind of for this Victini at this point. It's my best switch in for this Victini. I have nothing to really damage it too well, but I can take it 2 hits here from this thing, as we are Rakan Berry on this if he wants to run Bolt Strike, which it actually kind of sucks. Our only attacking move is U-turn, and it does not break the sub. As he does fire off a Charge Beam, and we eat that with our Rakan Berry. And I do believe we're even able to eat one more, as that did almost nothing to us. So we are, I do believe, able to eat one more, but we do U-turn out. I do U-turn into the wrong Pokemon here, so my thoughts are Fortress to sack it off. That's what my thoughts are here for, but I should have went into something that could eat hits from this thing like Stunfisk, so I could break this thing sub. But I sacked this thing off. Aqua Berry does not matter. If he was physical, it possibly mattered. If he had, but Special Ed, there's no way. That does like 2 billion% to us, especially because he's at +1, and we have like 0 SPDEF investment on this thing. So we do lose our Fortress, which that's okay. We don't really have a need for it too much anymore. As again, Stunfisk, just unless he's Z Glaciate, it's the only way he can do any amount of damage to us. Like, he still isn't KOing us. But Blue Flare does less than half there. Actually, almost close to a quarter, counting rocks. So with leftovers, it's actually Blue Flare is doing about a quarter damage to us. And Earth Power will KO this thing from this range. In the comments, let me know if you know where the FEFG is from. It'll probably be the... Well, I was going to make it the title, but I guess I won't make it the title anymore. As he sends in his Whimsicott here is basically just free damage for me with no matter what button I want to click. Earth Power is a KO for sure. I don't really have a need to click Toxic at this range, as he's just going to send in his Whimsicott. He makes a really good play here. As again, I'm trying to keep this Stunfisk at much HP as I can. Because at this range I can still take hits from Cure and Black if necessary. So I do go ahead and I swap out. Basically just sacking off this Talonflame, as Moonblast is not doing anything to me, but he actually has Endeavor on 2 Pokemon, which is crazy. And we are not speedy at all. Like I told you, we're very, very bulky. So it does put us in range of his Moonblast. It does 30%, and we're sitting at about 20-ish%. 25, I think, or something like that. It was pretty close. If he had no like offensive investment, it wouldn't have KO'd us. But Stunfisk does pick up a kill here. To his first kill. With the toxic damage. So now I feel like I have a free switch into Mega Gardevoir here, depending on what he sends in. As he sends this in, and I make sure I double check, we do not have to Mega first turn, and I do trace his Lightning Rod. So this thing can do absolutely 0 to me, and if he wants to just stay in an Overheat or HP Ice, that's fine with me. His 2 Hyper Voices actually picks this thing off, and will do at least decent damage to this Togekiss. It would 3-hit KO. No, I think it's a roll to 2-hit KO this Togekiss from this range, depending on its set. And we actually crit it, and so it would not have been a roll, most likely. He said I did not get his HP investment, but he actually misses an Air Slash here, which it is and isn't important. Or sorry, did or didn't matter. So if he landed it and flinched us, then yes, that miss mattered. If he landed and didn't flinch us, the miss did not matter. So it just comes down to a bunch of rolls, and who knows if he would have got it or not. Thankfully, Rocks puts this Victini in range where it cannot substitute in my face anymore, and I want to keep Mega Gardevoir at max HP, as I really need to stay at that high HP. As again, I still have the Stunfisk to just eat hits from this Victini all day long, as that does so much damage. How did +1 not do more than that? Very confused. Either way, we're sitting right at half HP as he fires off the Z Psychic here, which, funnily enough, we never died to this, I don't believe. I think he gets a very high roll. I think because we were sitting right at like 50%. Let's see. We lived that at 24 HP. I'm pretty positive, even if he was like modest with Psychic, I'm pretty sure we lived that no matter what, so I don't even think it was a roll. Z Psychic. Well, he had a very small chance to kill us. Very small chance. He had a 30% chance to KO us there, depending on his investment. That's if he's modest. I don't believe he was modest, though. I believe he was timid. So I do believe we guarantee to live that every time. I do just want to sack off our Stun Fisk here, as I think it'd be really stupid to switch into Gardevoir and take an HP Ice from this thing, as we need to be above 50% to eat hits from this Mega Manectric. And the way he's playing this game, I feel like he is making it to where he's scarfed Kieran Black, because he's never brought it in at this point. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I live any Thunderbolt from this. As long as it doesn't like paralyze me and I get fully paralyzed, we win this game. That's all it has to not do. As long as I KO this Manectric, we win this game with our Kartana in the back. So I do Mega Evolve here. The most this thing can do to us is 50.4%, as he is timid. He did tell us that. And we do KO, we do like 90-something% with our Hyper Voice. So Thunderbolt comes in, does less than half, just roughly, and we do knock this thing out with Hyper Voice. We do not get parried, so it comes down to is if this thing is scarfed, he would have to scarf into Ice Beam and get the freeze, or a crit. That's the only way he can KO us at this range. I do believe he does take 75% or 25% to Roxer, leaving him at 75%, and we do outspeed. He tells me after the game that he is actually Assault Vested, and he would have lived one hit from absolutely full if I was timid. But he didn't plan on Rox getting up so early, because he did have Taunt on his Archeops. So if you guys have enjoyed this, oh, I forgot to mention at the start, this is not a Wi-Fi league, but our opponent did come to us and ask, hey, I seen that you can play on Wi-Fi, would you like to for our YouTube videos? Because me and him both record. So GG to Koala. That was a really fun game. The tech, without Endeavor on both of his Pokemon, we would have just steamrolled this team. But the Endeavor tech on both Pokemon made it to where things became so much harder to win. So much harder to win. And we came to the conclusions that the crit didn't matter against the Togekiss. I mean, sorry, the crit did matter on the Togekiss, but the miss was basically like a 50-50. So there was some hacks in our favor. We will take those, as we really need this win here recently. If you guys have enjoyed this and are excited for this new season of this league that we've got, that we took on, please drop a like down below and subscribe if you'd like to see more Pokemon content like this. And I will see you guys in week 2. Peace out.